So Microsoft closed out the year with one final conference in Mexico City, and like E3, the biggest announcements weren't games. The ending wasn't about revealing some brand new exclusive IP or exciting gameplay. Instead, it was a promise that games are going to eventually show up on the system by revealing Microsoft had acquired 2 more studios, Obsidian and inXile. So that makes 7 studios now this year that Microsoft has taken under their wings. No doubt, Microsoft is positioning itself for the long game and planning for the future. But everybody knows it takes years to develop games, and many of these studios have just recently released titles, so don't expect to be overwhelmed by Microsoft Studios in the next year or so. But hopefully by the time the next Xbox releases, there will be a steady stream of games, at least hopefully a lot steadier than what we've seen over the last 2 years or so. But the question remains, why is Microsoft making all of these moves now? And why with these particular developers? It really comes down to 2 words: Game Pass. And it's no secret if you've been listening closely to what Microsoft has been saying themselves. They said they're not going out there looking for AAA content or buying up AAA developers. They're specifically targeting AA studios which can pump out games every 2 to 3 years and can deliver regular content for Game Pass. And look, it makes sense if you think about it. Think about what Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, look at what they do. They're not rolling out blockbuster movies that cost millions upon millions of dollars to produce. They're producing content that's good enough that they hope it'll entice you to keep paying for their services monthly and yearly. And that's why they start series and release titles throughout the year to keep you paying. Game Pass is the future of Microsoft. Games as a service, according to Microsoft themselves, is the future of Microsoft. And that's why this week's event was basically just one big infomercial for Games Pass. Microsoft wants you paying every month to keep your subscription. And the way to keep you there every month and every year is to keep introducing titles that are going to keep you subscribed long enough to say, yeah, I know that game's right around the corner, so I'm just going to keep on paying my dues so I can check that one out as well. And that's where these smaller studios are going to come in. Just listen to what the head of Microsoft Studios, Matt Booty, had to say recently. Quote, "While the industry is growing across the board, there seems to be fewer teams and studios focused on mid-tier games that sit between AAA blockbusters on one end and smaller indie games on the other. Those are some of the kinds of studios that we're interested in partnering with right now. Studios with teams that can make quality crafted games that sit just between mid-tier and AAA. And by becoming part of our Microsoft Studios family, can focus on craft and innovation and accelerate their creative growth." He also said, quote, "It's not about filling a spreadsheet by any means. We will, however, have an interest in studios right now that fit this criteria of 50 to 100 people who are making games on a 2 to 3 year cadence and have content that we think will be of interest to our Game Pass subscribers. That means content that is a little different to what our big AAA franchises can deliver." End quote. Look, Microsoft knows that they can invest millions of dollars into big blockbuster games, and it's likely going to sell well to a crowd that's interested in whatever genre that is. But let's be real. A lot of people get excited about Halo, but there's a lot of people who aren't excited about Halo. So what if you have a system that incorporates all genres, and instead of selling fewer items, meaning selling fewer games for more money, you sell more games for less money? It means you're going to sell a lot more, and that's going to make up the difference and then some. And it already is working. If you look at Microsoft financials, Microsoft just recently revealed that just in the last quarter, software and services revenue was up nearly 40%. It's not like they've been pushing out a lot of content out the door. So with revenue being up over the year, And Microsoft has not released many games this year. I mean, let's be honest, they've really only had one complete AAA game in Forza. State of Decay 2, I don't think was AAA by most standards, and Sea of Thieves wasn't anywhere complete by most standards, yet revenue is increasing drastically. It's clear that Game Pass is doing well, and it's an excellent value. And I've said this many times before, it's an excellent value for what you're getting, I think. And while a lot of games are going to be shovelware on it, they're games that you likely would see on mobile, there are some gems mixed in there, and those are the gems that keep people subscribed. And that's the purpose of these new studios, is to keep mining those gems that are gonna keep people subscribed. To be clear, that's not to say Microsoft is done with the blockbusters. They're not done with Gears and Halo and Forza. Those are still going to come. But this represents a new strategy going forward. Microsoft just recently revealed Game Pass is also going to be coming to PC in the future. And with their cloud-based service, you can expect it to come on mobile and who knows what else in the future. This is the road Microsoft is on. And it's really not a bad road when you look at the financial report of it. The business side, as far as how gamers, if it's going to really impact them, right now it's a good deal. You know, if you start getting a bunch of really good gems in that package, then Microsoft, I'm sure at some point, is going to say, hey, well, if you want to keep this up, we're going to have to raise the price on you. And so they start in good with a really good price and good games, which right now I think it is. And I think you should take advantage of it right now, but we could see, you know, a price increase in the future, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But that's why they're building up these studios, that's why they're buying them, and that's why they're doing it right now. Post your thoughts down below. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. Do you agree with me that this is all about Game Pass? Or not even do you agree with me, do you agree with Microsoft? Do you believe them whenever they're telling you that they're buying all these studios to simply pump out games every 2 to 3 years to keep you subscribed to Game Pass? That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.